When I look at the AI use cases, of course, while medtech industry is, I would say, a little bit behind in terms of the industry trend, and we are trying to do our best to catch up on those trends. But at the same time, we have our eyes set on the possibilities of AI, right? So I can probably touch upon what are the areas we would like to venture in near future, or we are already doing it, or also the ones which are, let's say, our North Star or the vision that we have, right? So one of the most promising use cases that comes into medtech is around the augmented reality-based use cases, right? Given how custom the surgeries are for the patients, right? The kind of implants that we have put, the kind of, the procedure, what, very crudely speaking, how long or how deep your cut should be, right? So that there's minimum blood loss and so on and so forth. The augmented reality can do wonders there, right? It can assist the surgeons, and it is already assisting the surgeon to make the most optimal decisions on the fly, right? And that's, of course, augmentation of multiple scans, multiple images together to assist the surgeon, right? When we take it a little further, this can also help the senior surgeons to guide and assist the junior surgeons who are performing the surgery. So it kind of multiplies the amount of healthcare that we can provide. And obviously, if we take it another further, a step further in the future, then it's like, with the augmented reality headsets, where of course the surgeon doesn't need to be there, but can still perform the surgery. So these are a few things which have been tried, of course, at various stages in terms of maturity and adoption in the industry, if I may call it. But ultimately, these are going to be game changers in the way how effectively and at what scale the medical surgeries are performed.
Supply chain is an extremely fertile ground for leveraging any form of advanced analytics, be it machine learning, artificial intelligence. Two or three classic use cases are in the planning space, where we want to use AI for inventory optimization and execution. Advanced machine learning for demand forecasting, another very classic use case for machine learning. In the procurement space, the whole spend and pricing optimization, where we can use advanced models, very exciting space. And lastly, for a company like ours, like Schneider, which is in the manufacturing space, how do you take all the process and operational data from our machines, bring the data up and really leverage it to drive efficiencies in manufacturing is another very good use case for ML.
We are doing spend management, so the visibility of the spend using AI is tremendous as compared to what a human being could have been done. We are easily able to classify different spends into different buckets. We are using AI to classify the taxes that we have to pay. You say it, we have it. So these are the two. We are using AI to translate the languages also. So from an invoice which is in a foreign language, if you want to translate into English and all, we are using some sort of image recognition and then some sort of language translation. So that's what we are doing there. So that's some of them, yeah.
In my industry, which is the banking industry, one of the things which is really interesting is when you look at AI and sort of ML preceding that, what tends to happen is the entire customer life cycle has got immense opportunity in terms of how do you actually get better customer satisfaction, get a better set of products to the customers, a better set of handling customer issues. So if you look at the use cases in which sort of machine learning, AI can be deployed, it's immense, right? I'll give you a couple of examples. So, traditionally, when you take calls and you handle customer complaints, you're very reliant on sampling or listening to calls on samples to then decide whether a complaint is there which needs to address, because otherwise it's a voluntary disclosure. However, the moment you introduce technologies which starts analyzing every call and starts analyzing speech into text, and then looking out for signs of a customer complaint, etc., you almost get a 30-40% uptake. Firstly, in terms of the number of calls that you think are complaints which you should address. And the second thing which happens is you're no longer reliant on a sample only. The technology which is there, you could deploy it across and you get much better data coming out of that. That's one use case I can articulate. Another one is really in terms of when you get into marketing efforts, right? Clearly that is dependent on spend behavior that is dependent on a variety of dynamics of patterns of spend. What does the customer at that point of time want the most? So you can tailor your products and services to a customer in a much better fashion in the right time. And obviously all of this requires very well thought through ML and AI patterns to be analyzed, but equally you have to be very careful about them. You shouldn't be completely reliant. You have to use some level of judgment and controls and ethical issues which come up. You have to be careful around it.
So what we have done majorly, so with AI and process automation, we have integrated it together. There was so many challenges where L1 and L2 tickets were getting stuck and stayed in queues because of unavailability of resources. So there we have brought in AI along with process automation, and we have converted, based on AI and process automation, we have converted those tickets automatically from L1 to L2, and it is getting assigned to required teams, so they are working it for the users. AI means mainly currently we are using this in our existing one, and there are few more things which are upcoming in our IS department, which we are going to provide, as we are a service provider for our company also. So we are providing those those automations or initiatives which we have taken along with AI based on text mining, data mining, predictive analysis. So those things we are going to present to our users.